In the next chapter, we will introduce advanced features for access control system. There are some commonly advanced access control functions. The first one is multi-factor authentication. A security approach requires a user to provide at least two authentication factors, such as login credentials, to approve their identity and gain access for a facility. The purpose of MFA is to restrict unauthorized users from entering a facility by adding extra layers of authentication to the access control process. You can check this demo right here. When he tries to enter, he has to present a card and a fingerprint to the reader. Once both credentials match access control list, the door would be unlocked. Multi-user unlock refers to a door that must be guaranteed to pass through by everyone in each card set before the door opens. For example, there are now 3 card sets, A, B, C, and there are 3 to 4 persons in each set, and there is a door that must be certified by someone in each set before the door opens. The feature is generally suitable for scenarios with high security levels, such as bank vaults. The next function is multi-door interlocking. You can set the multi-door interlocking between the multiple doors of the same access control device. To open one of the doors, other doors must keep closed. That means in the interlocking combined door group, up to 1 door can be opened at the same time. The route anti-passback depends on the card swapping route. Entry and exit readers are set in a way to deter any users from gaining access if the specific route is disturbed. For example, if a user bypasses an entry or exit reader without presenting his or her credential and tries to access the subsequent reader, the route activates. As a result of which, an event alert is sent to the access control system and the reader denies the user access. The anti-passback feature is designed to minimize the misuse of fraudulent use of access credentials, such as passing back card to an unauthorized person or tailed access. The anti-passback function establishes a specific sequence in which cards must be used in order to grant access. The typical application is to visit the venues or security guards to patrol the floors. And there is an extended anti-passback function called regional anti-passback. This establishes an additional set of rules of card readers inside of the buildings itself. Basically, the rule says that unless a card is the first used at in reader at the building exterior, it cannot be used at any reader within the interior of the building. The theory is that if a person did not enter through an approved building entrance, he or she should not be permitted to use any of the readers within the building. The function usually works between multiple controllers, so we also call this function as a cross-controller anti-passback. Anti-passback is a security system feature that is primarily used to prevent users from passing their credentials, such as access card or similar device, back to a second person to enter a security-controlled area or region, such as a car park or employee building. It can also stop users from entering controlled area by following or tailgating another person. First, the card unlock should be linked to an access level that will authorize the access panel to activate a schedule for a reader or door. An individual with a proper access level assignment must use their access control badge at the time zone controlled door after the start of the schedule. Once a valid badge is used at the controlled door, the access panel will then unlock the door for the scheduled time period. The first card authentication means that other normal cards will work only after first card is swapped. If the first card is not swapped, other normal cards cannot open the door. The first card verification function will only take effect on the same day, and the first card swapping activates the rule on the next day. A duress code is an emergency feature available only when the reader is in card and the PIN mode, and only if the reader has been configured in the access control system to use the duress feature. If a person presents their badge to the reader and enters the duress code, an alarm is triggered and sent to the alarm panel. The duress code is used in situations where immediate attention is required at the reader location. For example, if a potential intruder forces employee to use their badge to grant access into the building. Alright, let me just recap on what we have covered so far. Firstly, we introduced access control system including the topology and the different components and their functions. Secondly, we demoed multiple advanced functions for access control system, such as multi-factor authentication, anti-passback, first card unlock, duress code, and so on. Alright, that is all about what we have today. Thanks for your time and see you in the next course.